Sant Gyaneshwar. Once upon a time, outside a school in a small village in Maharashtra, stood 4 young children named Gyaneshwar, Nivruttinath, Sopan, and Muktabai. They were requesting the school teacher to let them attend the classes, but the teachers and pundits started ridiculing them. The 4 siblings wanted to get educated, but society had shunned them because their father, Vithal Pant, who had earlier taken sannyas, had become a householder, again as per his guru's instruction. Their father pleaded to the Brahmin Pandits, "Please impart knowledge of Vedas to my young children." But the Pandits retorted, "We will do so only if you relinquish your life by immersing yourself in the river. This will be your penance." In order that their children could receive a proper education, the father and mother gave up their lives by immersing their bodies in the river. After the death of their parents, society inflicted various atrocities on the young children. They lived in a small hut, and because they were treated as an outcast, they went hungry for days together. Such was their plight that they were not even allowed to draw water from any well in the village. But the siblings loved each other a lot. Nivruttinath and Gyaneshwar took care of the young Sopan and little sister Muktibai. The orphan children decided that in order to fulfill their parents' wish, they would enroll in a school and get educated. Accompanied by his siblings, Gyaneshwar went to the school and requested the teachers, "Please, educate us." But the cruel and heartless teachers threw them out. "You are the children of a sannyasi. How can we admit you to our school?" they rebuked. Responding to the teacher's question, the young Gyaneshwar replied, "God has made all beings equally. Divisions of caste and creed are man-made. The one God resides in all beings." Listening to such words of wisdom from a young child, the Pandits were flustered. Just then, a farmer happened to pass by with his buffalo, who was called Gyanu. The farmer was dragging the buffalo with a rope, yelling, "Come along, Gyanu." Seeing this, one Pandit sneered at Gyaneshwar. "You say that there is no difference between you and this buffalo?" Gyaneshwar replied, "Indeed, there is no difference between him and me. His body is made up of 5 elements, and so is mine. He has a mind, intellect, so do I. Consciousness exists within him and also within me. Brahman exists within him and also within me. Thus, there is no difference between us." Listening to these words, the foolish Pandit laughed out loud. "Well, in that case, you smart aleck. Get this buffalo to recite words from Vedas." Unhesitatingly, Gyaneshwar stepped forward and placed his hand on the buffalo's head. After all, Gyaneshwar wasn't an ordinary boy. He was a yogi who had attained perfection in his previous birth. As soon as he placed his hand on the buffalo's head, the buffalo started reciting verses from the Vedas. All folk present there were stunned. How is it possible that a buffalo is speaking in human language? But in reality, Gyaneshwar himself was speaking through the buffalo. Indeed, yogis have such astonishing powers that they can get things done through anybody. The Pandits realized their folly. With folded hands, they implored, "What can we teach you? You are omniscient. You know everything. Please forgive us." Kind-hearted Gyaneshwar forgave everyone. Gyaneshwar was supremely wise at a very tender age itself. He had written a great text called Gyaneshwari. This scripture gives an essence of the Bhagavad Gita in Marathi language. He also created many verses enriched in devotion and wisdom, known in Marathi as Abhanga.